Number 25 on our countdown is Kaufman Stadium in Kansas City, Missouri, home to the Royals with a capacity of 37,903 seats. But this isn't just another ballpark, it's home to the most spectacular water feature in all of professional sports. The Crown Vision fountains beyond the outfield walls aren't just for show. These 322-foot wide water displays shoot 12 million gallons per year into the Kansas City sky, creating a liquid light show that can be seen from space. When Salvador Perez hits a home run, the fountains erupt in a choreographed celebration that makes even opposing fans stop and stare. Built in 1973 and named after team founder Ewing Kaufman, this stadium was revolutionary for its time. The architects designed it as a baseball-only facility when multi-purpose stadiums were the trend, proving that specialized venues could create superior fan experiences. The result was one of baseball's most beautiful and functional ballparks. The 2014 and 2015 World Series runs transformed Kaufman Stadium into a madhouse. The postseason magic was real. Kansas City hadn't seen playoff baseball in 29 years, and when it finally arrived, the city erupted. Game 6 of the 2014 World Series against San Francisco remains one of the most dramatic games ever played, with the Royals forcing Game 7 in front of 40,000 screaming fans whose voices could be heard 3 miles away. The stadium's signature feature isn't just the fountains, it's the massive HD video board that was the largest in baseball when installed. At 105 feet wide, it's bigger than some apartment buildings, ensuring every replay and celebration is visible from the furthest seats. But perhaps the most touching tradition at Kaufman Stadium is the honor guard of former players who return for opening day ceremonies. Players like George Brett, Frank White, and Willie Wilson represent the golden era of Royals baseball, when this stadium hosted some of the American League's fiercest competition. The concourse design allows fans to walk completely around the stadium while never losing sight of the field, a feature that seems simple but was revolutionary in 1973. Combined with the fountains, the wide concourses, and the Kansas City barbecue, Kaufman Stadium represents Middle America's approach to baseball: unpretentious, beautiful, and unforgettable. From the fountains that dance with every home run to the prairie winds that can turn routine fly balls into adventures, Kaufman Stadium proves that sometimes the most beautiful things come in smaller packages. Number 24 on our countdown is PNC Park in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, home to the Pirates with a capacity of 38,747 seats. But this isn't just another ballpark, it's widely considered the most beautiful stadium in all of Major League Baseball. From the moment you approach PNC Park, the view stops you in your tracks. The iconic yellow Roberto Clemente Bridge stretches across the Allegheny River directly to the stadium entrance, creating a dramatic arrival that no other ballpark can match. On game days, the bridge closes to traffic and becomes a pedestrian walkway filled with black and gold jerseys streaming toward the stadium. The view from inside is even more spectacular. Beyond the right field wall, Pittsburgh's skyline rises like a postcard, with the Cathedral of Learning Tower and downtown skyscrapers creating a backdrop that changes with the light throughout each game. No artificial enhancement needed. Mother Nature and city planners collaborated perfectly. Built in 2001 for $216 million, PNC Park was designed to honor Pittsburgh's industrial heritage while embracing the natural beauty of the Three Rivers. The steel and limestone exterior mirrors the city's blue-collar roots, while the intimate 38,747 capacity ensures every seat feels connected to the action. The most heartbreaking moment in PNC Park history came on September 28, 2014, when Derek Jeter played his final game in Pittsburgh. Even Pirates fans gave the Yankees captain a standing ovation, recognizing greatness regardless of uniform color. The moment captured what makes PNC Park special: respect for baseball tradition in a setting that honors the game's past. Barry Bonds hit his 600th career home run at PNC Park in 2002, and the ball splashed into the Allegheny River beyond the right field wall. The splash hits have become legendary, with kayakers gathering in the river during games hoping to catch history. Only 79 balls have reached the water since the stadium opened, making each splash a rare celebration. The statue of Roberto Clemente at the stadium entrance isn't just decoration, it's a shrine to Pittsburgh's greatest baseball hero. Clemente, who died in a plane crash while delivering aid to earthquake victims in Nicaragua, represents everything noble about baseball and humanity. His 3,000th hit came at Three Rivers Stadium, but his legacy lives on at PNC Park. Perhaps the most stunning feature is the view from the upper deck behind home plate, where the entire Steel City spreads out like a baseball amphitheater. Sunset games create a golden glow that reflects off both the river and the downtown buildings, making even losing seasons feel magical. PNC Park proves that sometimes perfection comes in smaller packages, where natural beauty and baseball tradition create something bigger than the sum of their parts. Number 23 on our countdown is Target Field in Minneapolis, Minnesota, home to the Twins with a capacity of 39,504 seats. But this open-air ballpark represents one of baseball's greatest comeback stories, both for a team and a city that refused to give up on outdoor baseball. For 28 long years, the Twins played inside the sterile Metrodome, where artificial turf and a fabric roof turned America's pastime into something that felt more like arena football. Fans complained, players hated it, and baseball purists cringed every time a routine fly ball disappeared into the white ceiling for a ground rule double. The dome was supposed to be temporary. It lasted nearly 3 decades. When Target Field opened in 2010, it was like baseball was reborn in Minnesota. The $545 million ballpark brought the game back outdoors, complete with real grass, natural wind, and the kind of sight lines that make every seat feel perfect. The limestone and steel exterior pays homage to Minneapolis's milling heritage, while the glass facade reflects the downtown skyline like a mirror. The most incredible feature isn't what you can see, it's what you can't. Despite Minnesota's brutal winters, Target Field has no roof, no dome, no retractable cover. The architects bet everything on a heated field system and strategic wind barriers, proving that outdoor baseball could survive in one of America's coldest cities. Opening day 2010 was magical revenge against decades of indoor baseball. With temperatures hovering near freezing, 39,000 fans packed Target Field wearing winter coats and Twins jerseys, celebrating baseball under an open sky for the first time since 1981. Jason Kubel hit the first home run, and the crowd erupted like they'd been holding their breath for 28 years. The ballpark's signature feature is the massive video board in right field, but it's the smaller details that make Target Field special. The heated concourses keep fans warm during April snowstorms, while the Twins championship banners from 1987 and 1991 finally have a proper outdoor home where they can wave in real wind. Target Field's most heartwarming tradition happens every seventh inning stretch, when the entire stadium sings "Take Me Out to the Ball Game" followed by Prince's "Purple Rain." It's a uniquely Minneapolis moment that connects baseball to the city's musical soul. The ballpark has hosted playoff games, all-star events, and countless summer nights that prove outdoor baseball belongs in Minnesota. Target Field didn't just replace the Metrodome, it restored baseball's connection to the natural world, one frozen opening day at a time. From dome to dream, Target Field shows that sometimes waiting 28 years makes the payoff even sweeter. Number 22 on our countdown is Petco Park in San Diego, California, home to the Padres with a capacity of 40,209 seats. But this isn't just another West Coast ballpark, it's a pitcher's paradise that completely transformed how baseball is played in America's finest city. When Petco Park opened in 2004, it was immediately nicknamed Petco Pitchers Park for good reason. The massive foul territory, deep dimensions, and marine layer air create one of the most pitcher-friendly environments in Major League Baseball. Home runs that would sail over the fence in other stadiums die on the warning track in San Diego, frustrating sluggers and delighting pitchers for 2 decades. The Western Metal Building beyond left field isn't just architectural decoration, it's a preserved piece of San Diego history that the ballpark was literally built around. This 1909 warehouse survived urban development for nearly a century, and when designers planned Petco Park, they incorporated the historic structure rather than demolishing it. Today it houses the team store and restaurants, proving that progress and preservation can coexist. Quinn's statue outside the stadium represents more than just a great player, it's a shrine to baseball perfection. Quinn, who hit .338 over 20 seasons, never played at Petco Park during his prime, but his legacy shaped every inch of this ballpark's design. The intimate dimensions and sight lines reflect his philosophy that baseball is about precision, not power. The most dramatic moment in Petco Park history came during the 2020 Wild Card Series when Fernando Tatis Jr. launched a grand slam that seemed to defy the stadium's pitcher-friendly reputation. The ball cleared the left field wall by inches, sending the limited coveted crowd into a frenzy and announcing that a new generation of Padres was ready to challenge Petco's reputation as a home run graveyard. Perhaps the most unique feature is the park at the park beyond the outfield wall, where fans can watch games from a grassy hill for a fraction of the ticket price. It's become a family tradition in San Diego, where kids play catch while parents watch the game, creating a community atmosphere that feels more like a neighborhood barbecue than a major league ballpark. The marine layer that rolls in from the Pacific Ocean during summer evenings creates a natural air conditioning system, keeping temperatures comfortable even during the hottest months. But it also turns routine fly balls into adventures, as the heavy air can knock down home runs or carry them unexpectedly far. Petco Park's downtown location means fans can walk from hotels, restaurants, and bars directly to their seats, making it one of the most accessible ballparks in America. The integration with San Diego's urban core proves that baseball stadiums can be community anchors rather than isolated entertainment complexes. From pitcher's paradise to family playground, Petco Park shows that sometimes the most challenging environments create the most memorable moments. Number 21 on our countdown is Globe Life Field in Arlington, Texas, home to the Rangers with a capacity of 40,300 seats. But this isn't just another new ballpark, it's a $1.2 billion climate-controlled fortress that ended one of baseball's most brutal playing conditions and delivered the Rangers their first World Series championship. For 48 years, the Rangers played next door at Globe Life Park, where summer temperatures regularly exceeded 100 degrees and players literally cooked on the artificial turf. Adrian Beltre once had his cleats melt during a game, and relief pitchers needed ice vests just to warm up in the bullpen. The heat was so legendary that visiting teams would arrive in Arlington already defeated by the weather forecast. When Globe Life Field opened in 2020, it was like stepping into baseball's air-conditioned future. The retractable roof and climate control system maintain a perfect 72 degrees, even when it's blazing hot outside. But the architects didn't just build a dome, they created a ballpark that feels outdoor even when it's sealed shut, with massive windows and natural light flooding the concourses. The most incredible feature is the roof itself, which weighs 24 million pounds and can open or close in just 12 minutes. When it's open, Globe Life Field feels like a traditional ballpark. When it's closed, it becomes a climate-controlled baseball cathedral that allows the Rangers to play their best baseball regardless of Texas weather. The stadium's first moment of pure magic came in October 2023, when the Rangers finally won their first World Series championship. After 63 years of heartbreak, including 2 World Series losses in 2010 and 2011, the Rangers celebrated on their home field as confetti fell from the climate-controlled sky. Corey Seager's MVP performance and Nathan Eovaldi's dominant pitching proved that sometimes the perfect environment creates perfect moments. Field's design pays tribute to Texas architecture while embracing modern technology. The red brick exterior mirrors the Lone Star State's industrial heritage, while the interior features local limestone and steel that connects the ballpark to Arlington's identity. Even the concession stands serve authentic Texas barbecue, because air conditioning shouldn't mean sacrificing local flavor. Perhaps the most touching detail is the Rangers Hall of Fame, which finally gives legends like Nolan Ryan, Ivan Rodriguez, and Michael Young a proper shrine. These players endured decades of Texas heat, and now their legacies are preserved in climate-controlled comfort. The ballpark's technology extends beyond temperature control. The video boards are among the largest in baseball, and the sound system is designed to create intimate acoustics even in a domed environment. Every detail serves the goal of perfect baseball conditions. From sweltering summers to World Series glory, Globe Life Field proves that sometimes you have to control the elements to achieve greatness. After 63 years of waiting, the Rangers finally have both a championship and a home worthy of their dreams. Number 20 on our countdown is Guaranteed Rate Field in Chicago, Illinois, home to the White Sox with a capacity of 40,615 seats. But this South Side ballpark carries one of baseball's most controversial naming rights deals and represents a franchise desperate to escape the shadow of their crosstown rivals. Originally called Comiskey Park when it opened in 1991, this stadium was supposed to honor the legendary original Comiskey Park, home to the White Sox for 80 years. Instead, it became a symbol of everything wrong with 1990s ballpark design: steep upper decks, artificial turf, and a sterile atmosphere that felt more like a concrete airport terminal than a baseball cathedral. The naming rights controversy exploded in 2016 when the team sold the stadium name to Guaranteed Rate, a mortgage company. Fans were outraged that the historic Comiskey name disappeared in favor of what sounds like a financial advertisement. The backlash was so intense that many White Sox faithful still refuse to use the corporate name, calling it simply the Rate or sticking with New Comiskey. But this ballpark has witnessed greatness that transcends its reputation. The 2005 World Series championship run turned Guaranteed Rate Field into a madhouse, as the White Sox swept their way to their first title in 88 years. Scott Podsednik's walk-off home run in Game 2 against Houston sent 41,000 fans into delirium and proved that even the most criticized stadiums can host magical moments. The most distinctive feature is the exploding scoreboard in center field, a recreation of the famous spectacular from the original Comiskey Park. When a White Sox player hits a home run, fireworks shoot from the scoreboard while "Na hey hey kiss him goodbye" blares through the speakers. It's cheesy, loud, and absolutely beloved by South Side faithful. Frank Thomas owns this ballpark's record books, launching 167 home runs during his Hall of Fame career. The Big Hurt turned the stadium's dimensions into his personal launching pad, proving that great players can make any venue feel special. His statue outside the stadium reminds fans that individual excellence can overcome architectural shortcomings. The upper deck at Guaranteed Rate Field is among the steepest in baseball, creating vertigo-inducing views that make foul balls feel like they're coming straight at you. Players joke that fans in the upper rows need oxygen masks, but the steep angles also create an intimate atmosphere when the crowd gets involved. Perhaps the most telling feature is the empty seats that have become synonymous with White Sox games. Despite fielding competitive teams, the South Side struggles to fill their ballpark, especially compared to Wrigley Field's perpetual sellouts. The rivalry with the Cubs extends beyond the field to the box office, where the White Sox consistently lose the battle for Chicago's baseball attention. The Southpaw mascot and the seventh-inning stretch tradition of "Take Me Out to the Ball Game" feel forced compared to Wrigley's organic atmosphere, highlighting how difficult it is to manufacture baseball tradition. From corporate naming controversies to championship celebrations, Guaranteed Rate Field proves that sometimes a stadium's reputation matters less than the moments created inside its walls. Number 19 on our countdown is Comerica Park in Detroit, Michigan, home to the Tigers with a capacity of 41,083 seats. But this ballpark represents more than just baseball. It's a symbol of Detroit's resilience during the city's darkest economic hours and a testament to how sports can anchor urban renewal. When Comerica Park opened in 2000, Detroit was already struggling with economic decline, population loss, and urban decay. The $300 million ballpark was controversial. Critics argued the city couldn't afford luxury baseball while basic services were failing. But Tigers owner Mike Ilitch bet that a beautiful ballpark could help revitalize downtown Detroit, and history proved him right. The most striking feature isn't inside the stadium, it's the view beyond the outfield walls. Detroit's Renaissance Center towers over the ballpark, creating a dramatic urban backdrop that tells the story of a city fighting to reinvent itself. The juxtaposition of America's pastime against Detroit's industrial skyline creates one of baseball's most powerful visual statements. The carousel beyond the left field concourse seems whimsical until you understand its deeper meaning. The hand-carved tigers on the merry-go-round represent childhood joy in a city where many kids had little reason to smile. The carousel operates before every game, filling the ballpark with the laughter of Detroit families who found escape and hope in baseball. Justin Verlander's no-hitter on June 12, 2007, represents Comerica Park at its finest. The future Hall of Famer struck out 12 Milwaukee Brewers while 23,000 fans rose to their feet with each pitch. When Verlander induced the final groundout, the stadium erupted in a celebration that felt bigger than baseball. It was Detroit celebrating excellence in a time when excellence felt rare. The statue of Ty Cobb outside the ballpark honors Detroit's complicated baseball legacy. Cobb, the Georgia Peach who terrorized American League pitching for 22 seasons, embodies the fierce competitiveness that defines Detroit sports. His .366 lifetime batting average remains untouchable, just like Detroit's refusal to surrender during tough times. The most remarkable feature is the ballpark's survival during Detroit's 2013 bankruptcy. While the city cut services and laid off workers, Comerica Park remained a beacon of normalcy, hosting games and providing jobs when both were desperately needed. The ballpark became a symbol that Detroit hadn't given up on itself. The dimensions at Comerica Park favor pitchers, with deep gaps in the outfield that turn routine fly balls into doubles and triples. The extra foul territory means more outs for pitchers, creating a style of baseball that emphasizes defense and pitching, qualities that mirror Detroit's blue-collar work ethic. The 2012 American League Championship Series brought Comerica Park its greatest moment in recent memory. The Tigers swept the Yankees to reach the World Series, with Prince Fielder's home runs and Justin Verlander's dominant pitching creating October magic that gave Detroit something to celebrate during difficult times. From urban renewal anchor to championship stage, Comerica Park proves that sometimes a ballpark's greatest victory happens off the field, in the community it serves and the hope it provides. Number 18 on our countdown is Truist Park in Atlanta, Georgia, home to the Braves with a capacity of 41,149 seats. But this ballpark represents one of the most controversial moves in modern baseball history, a team that abandoned the city center for the suburbs and sparked a debate about who baseball really serves. When the Braves announced they were leaving Turner Field in 2013, Atlanta was stunned. Turner Field wasn't old, it had been their home for only 17 seasons after being converted from the 1996 Olympic Stadium. But the Braves wanted something bigger than just a ballpark. They wanted an entertainment district that would generate revenue 365 days a year, not just during baseball season. Truist Park opened in 2017 in Cobb County, 12 miles northwest of downtown Atlanta, surrounded by the Battery, a massive mixed-use development with restaurants, shops, hotels, and apartments. The Braves didn't just move stadiums, they created their own city within a city. Critics called it baseball gentrification, while supporters praised it as visionary business planning. The most controversial aspect wasn't the move itself, it was the public funding. Cobb County taxpayers contributed over $300 million to the project, sparking fierce debates about whether suburban communities should subsidize private sports franchises. The political battles were more heated than any game played on the field. But once the first pitch was thrown, magic happened. The 2021 World Series championship run turned Truist Park into a fortress of sound and emotion. The Chop House section beyond right field became legendary during the playoffs, with 41,000 fans doing the tomahawk chop in unison, creating a wall of noise that visiting players described as intimidating and electric. Freddie Freeman's emotional departure after the 2021 championship highlighted the ballpark's complex relationship with tradition. Freeman, Atlanta's beloved first baseman, played his final Braves game at Truist Park without knowing it was goodbye. When he returned as a Dodger, the standing ovation lasted 5 minutes, proving that new stadiums can still honor old loyalties. The Skyfield deck beyond the outfield walls offers a unique viewing experience, fans can watch games from elevated platforms that feel like tree houses. It's become popular with families and casual fans who want the ballpark experience without the commitment of 9 innings. Perhaps the most impressive feature is the ballpark's integration with the battery development. Fans can eat dinner, watch a movie, stay in a hotel, and attend a game without ever leaving the complex. It's baseball as lifestyle destination rather than just sporting event. The dimensions at Truist Park favor hitters, with shorter foul territory than most modern ballparks and gaps that reward well-placed hits. The Georgia climate means the ball carries well during summer months, leading to offensive showcases that thrill crowds. Ronald Acuna Jr.'s electrifying play has made Truist Park his personal highlight reel. His speed on the base paths and power at the plate represent the new generation of baseball stars who make every at-bat appointment television. From controversial relocation to championship celebration, Truist Park proves that sometimes moving forward means leaving something behind, but the memories and magic can follow to new ground. Number 17 on our countdown is Minute Maid Park in Houston, Texas, home to the Astros with a capacity of 41,168 seats. But this ballpark has become synonymous with one of baseball's biggest scandals and represents both the heights of championship glory and the depths of organizational disgrace. When Minute Maid Park opened in 2000 as Enron Field, it was supposed to symbolize Houston's corporate power and innovation. The irony became painful 2 years later when Enron collapsed in spectacular fashion, forcing an embarrassing name change that foreshadowed the Astros' own future ethical troubles. The ballpark that once bore the name of America's most infamous corporate fraud would later host baseball's most notorious cheating scandal. The most distinctive feature is Tal's Hill, the bizarre 90-foot incline in deep center field that was crowned by a flagpole in play. For 16 years, this architectural oddity turned routine fly balls into adventures, with outfielders sprinting uphill while trying to avoid collision with a flagpole. Players called it dangerous, fans called it unique, and everyone called it unforgettable when it was finally removed in 2016. The retractable roof saved Houston baseball from the brutal Texas heat, but it also enabled the sign-stealing scandal that rocked the sport. In 2017, the closed-roof environment allowed Astros players to use video technology and trash can banging to steal opponents' signals, turning their home field advantage into an unfair competitive edge that helped deliver their first World Series championship. Jose Altuve's walk-off home run against the Yankees in the 2019 American League Championship Series represents Minute Maid Park at its most electric. The diminutive second baseman sent 43,000 fans into delirium with a pennant-winning blast that seemed to validate Houston's championship culture. Only later would we learn that the celebration was tainted by systematic cheating that had become embedded in the organization's DNA. Crawford boxes in left field create one of baseball's most inviting home run targets, sitting just 315 feet from home plate. These short dimensions have turned warning track fly balls into game-changing home runs, making Minute Maid Park a hitter's paradise where no lead ever feels safe. Perhaps the most telling feature is the train that runs along the left field wall, celebrating every Astros home run with whistles and movement. The Union Pacific locomotive was installed to honor Houston's railroad heritage, but during the cheating scandal, it felt more like a getaway train for an organization trying to escape accountability. The ballpark's air conditioning system creates unique wind patterns when the roof is closed, turning pop flies into unpredictable adventures. Visiting players struggle to adjust to the artificial air currents, giving Houston another subtle home field advantage beyond their illegal sign stealing. Alex Bregman and Carlos Correa built their reputations at Minute Maid Park, but their legacy will forever be complicated by the knowledge that their greatest moments came with stolen information. The ballpark that witnessed their rise also documented their fall from grace. From corporate scandals to championship asterisks, Minute Maid Park proves that sometimes a ballpark's most memorable moments are the ones its fans wish they could forget. On our countdown is Nationals Park in Washington, D.C., home to the Nationals with a capacity of 41,339 seats. But this ballpark represents far more than baseball. It's the stadium that finally brought championship glory to a city that had waited 95 years for a World Series title. When Nationals Park opened in 2008, Washington was still mourning the loss of the Senators, who had left for Texas in 1971. The city's last championship came in 1924, when Calvin Coolidge was president and radio was cutting-edge technology. For nearly a century, Washington had been the graveyard of baseball dreams, despite being the nation's capital. The most distinctive feature isn't visible from the stands, it's the view beyond the outfield walls of the Capitol Dome and Washington Monument. No other ballpark can claim such an iconic backdrop, where America's pastime meets American government in perfect visual harmony. The sightlines were carefully designed to showcase the city's monuments, making every game feel like a patriotic celebration. The ballpark's location in the Navy Yard district transformed one of D.C's most neglected neighborhoods into a thriving entertainment zone. What was once industrial wasteland became a destination where fans could eat, drink, and celebrate before and after games, proving that baseball stadiums can be engines of urban renewal. October 2019 turned Nationals Park into the center of the baseball universe. Game 6 of the World Series against Houston became the loudest sports venue in Washington history, with 43,000 fans creating a decibel level that registered on seismographs. When Anthony Rendon and Howie Kendrick delivered clutch hits, the stadium shook with 95 years of pent-up frustration and joy. The president's race between innings became a beloved tradition that perfectly captures Washington's unique character. Giant-headed mascots of Washington, Jefferson, Lincoln, and Roosevelt race around the warning track, with Teddy Roosevelt famously losing 525 consecutive races before finally winning in 2012. It's silly, it's uniquely DC, and it's impossible not to love. Perhaps the most emotional moment came when Ryan Zimmerman, Mr. National himself, hit the first home run in World Series history at Nationals Park. The local kid who had endured decades of losing finally got to celebrate in front of his hometown crowd, representing every Washington fan who had never stopped believing. The ballpark's design includes subtle nods to DC history, from the red sandstone exterior that mirrors federal buildings to the sight lines that frame the city's most famous landmarks. Even the concession stands serve half-smokes, the local delicacy that connects baseball to Washington's culinary identity. The seventh-inning stretch tradition of "Take Me Out to the Ball Game" followed by "Sweet Caroline" creates a sing-along that unites politicians, lobbyists, and regular fans in baseball communion. In a city divided by partisan politics, baseball provides rare common ground. From decades of disappointment to championship celebration, Nationals Park proves that sometimes the longest waits produce the sweetest victories. After 95 years, Washington finally had both a team and a ballpark worthy of the nation's capital. Number 15 on our countdown is Wrigley Field in Chicago, home to the Cubs with a capacity of 41,649 seats. But this isn't just a ballpark, it's a cathedral of baseball where tradition lives in every ivy leaf and every brick of its century-old walls. When Wrigley Field opened in 1914, Woodrow Wilson was president and World War I was just beginning in Europe. For over 110 years, this ballpark has been the constant heartbeat of Chicago's North Side, surviving 2 world wars, the Great Depression, and decades of heartbreak that would test any fanbast's loyalty. The most iconic features are impossible to miss, those ivy-covered outfield walls that can turn routine fly balls into ground rule doubles, and the manual scoreboard that still gets updated by hand. No digital displays here, just green numbers on yellow backgrounds that have been Cubs' tradition since 1937. The scoreboard operator climbs inside that iconic structure every game, maintaining a ritual that connects today's fans to generations past. The ballpark's location in Wrigleyville created something unique in sports, a neighborhood that exists purely for baseball. The famous rooftop seats across Sheffield and Waveland Avenues turn apartment buildings into bleacher sections, where fans can watch games while grilling on their own rooftops. It's a Chicago tradition that makes every game feel like a block party. October 2016 transformed Wrigley Field into the epicenter of baseball euphoria. Game 7 of the World Series against Cleveland became the culmination of 108 years of waiting, the longest championship drought in baseball history. When the Cubs finally won, grown men cried in the stands, and the celebration spilled into the streets for days. Cubs fans didn't just break a curse, they inherited a legacy their great-grandparents had been waiting to pass down. The seventh-inning stretch at Wrigley is baseball's most famous tradition. It started here, with fans standing and singing "Take Me Out to the Ball Game" led by celebrity guest conductors. From Harry Caray's legendary "Holy Cow" to modern-day traditions, the stretch connects every generation of Cubs fans in shared ritual. The The ballpark's quirky dimensions tell stories of baseball evolution. Those short foul territory lines mean more home runs, while the unpredictable winds off Lake Michigan can turn pop flies into home runs or turn sure doubles into easy catches. Wrigley doesn't just host baseball, it influences every pitch and swing with its unique personality. The friendly confines earned their nickname through decades of Cubs fans who stayed loyal through futility. Before 2016, being a Cubs fan meant believing in next year, embracing beautiful failure, and loving baseball for its own sake rather than victory. That loyalty created a fanbase unlike any other in sports. From Ernie Banks' eternal optimism to Sammy Sosa's home run chase to Anthony Rizzo's championship celebration, Wrigley Field has been home to baseball legends who understood they were playing in a sacred space. The stadium doesn't just contain history, it creates new legends every season. In a city of broad shoulders and blue-collar pride, Wrigley Field represents Chicago's soul. After 108 years of waiting, the Cubs and their ballpark proved that some dreams are worth a lifetime of patience. Number 14 on our countdown is American Family Field in Milwaukee, home to the Brewers with a capacity of 41,900 seats. But this ballpark represents something special in baseball, a stadium that captures the heart and soul of America's Dairyland while creating one of the most unique game day experiences in Major League Baseball. When American Family Field opened in 2001, as Miller Park had replaced the concrete bowl of County Stadium with something revolutionary, a retractable roof and a design that celebrated Milwaukee's brewing heritage. The ballpark's distinctive fan-shaped roof became an instant landmark, visible from miles away and promising that weather would never again cancel a Brewers game. The most iconic feature is Bernie Brewer's slide in right field, where the team's mascot celebrates every home run by sliding down from his chalet into a giant mug of beer. It's pure Wisconsin fun that perfectly captures the state's love of baseball, bratwurst, and beer. No other ballpark has anything quite like Bernie's enthusiastic celebrations that get the entire crowd on their feet. The ballpark's location in Milwaukee's industrial heartland reflects the city's blue-collar identity. Tailgating here isn't just a pre-game ritual, it's an art form. Brewers fans arrive hours early to fire up their grills, crack open local beers, and create a parking lot party that rivals any college football Saturday. The aroma of bratwurst and burgers mingles with the smell of fresh-cut grass, creating an atmosphere that's uniquely Milwaukee. The famous racing sausages have become baseball's most beloved mid-inning entertainment. Italian sausage, Polish sausage, bratwurst, hot dog, and chorizo race around the warning track while fans cheer wildly for their favorite processed meat. It's ridiculous, it's wonderful, and it perfectly captures Milwaukee's sense of humor about itself. The ballpark's design incorporates subtle nods to Wisconsin's agricultural heritage, from the brick exterior that mirrors the city's historic breweries to the concourse that showcases local food vendors serving cheese curds, frozen custard, and those famous bratwurst varieties. Every bite connects fans to Milwaukee's culinary identity. The seventh-inning stretch tradition includes Roll Out the Barrel, the polka anthem that turns the ballpark into a giant beer hall sing-along. In a city built on brewing, this tradition feels as natural as the crack of the bat, uniting fans in celebration of their shared heritage. The retractable roof has transformed Milwaukee's baseball experience. On perfect summer days, the roof opens to reveal blue skies and puffy clouds, while on rainy nights, it closes to keep the party going. The engineering marvel takes just 10 minutes to open or close, ensuring that baseball continues regardless of Wisconsin's notoriously unpredictable weather. From Ryan Braun's MVP seasons to Christian Yelich's explosive performances, American Family Field has been home to some of baseball's most exciting players. The ballpark's dimensions favor hitters, creating an environment where spectacular plays and dramatic moments happen regularly. In a city that knows how to have fun, American Family Field proves that baseball is best when it feels like a celebration. Milwaukee's ballpark doesn't just host games, it throws a party that welcomes everyone to join the fun. Number 13 on our countdown is Oracle Park in San Francisco, home to the Giants with a capacity of 41,915 seats. But this ballpark represents something magical, a stadium where the Pacific Ocean meets America's pastime, creating the most breathtaking backdrop in all of baseball. When Oracle Park opened in 2000 as Pac Bell Park, it transformed San Francisco's waterfront and proved that baseball stadiums could be architectural masterpieces. Built right on the edge of McCovey Cove, this ballpark offers views that no other stadium can match, the San Francisco Bay stretching beyond the right field wall, with kayakers floating in the water waiting to retrieve splash hits. The most iconic feature is McCovey Cove itself, named after Giants legend Willie McCovey. When Barry Bonds was launching home runs into the bay during his record-breaking years, kayakers would paddle out hoping to snag a piece of history. Those splash hits became San Francisco legend, with fans keeping detailed counts of every ball that found the water. Even today, the Cove creates drama unlike anywhere else in baseball. The ballpark's location in the South Beach neighborhood transformed what was once industrial wasteland into one of the most desirable areas in the city. The brick and steel architecture pays homage to San Francisco's industrial past while creating something entirely modern, with the 240-foot brick wall in right field becoming as famous as any feature in baseball. The signature moment came during Barry Bonds' historic home run chase in 2001. When he broke Mark McGwire's single-season record with his 73rd home run, Oracle Park erupted in celebration that echoed across the bay. The ball landed in the right field arcade, and for that moment, all of San Francisco felt like the center of the baseball universe. The garlic fries have become as much a part of the Oracle Park experience as the seventh-inning stretch. The aroma fills the concourse, creating a sensory experience that's uniquely San Francisco. Combined with Dungeness crab sandwiches and local craft beer, the food reflects the city's incredible culinary scene. The foggy summer nights add another layer to the Oracle Park mystique. When the marine layer rolls in from the Pacific, it can turn a sunny afternoon into a chilly evening, with the fog sometimes obscuring the outfield. Players and fans alike have learned to dress in layers, embracing the weather as part of the San Francisco baseball experience. The ballpark's design includes the China Basin building beyond center field, where the Giants' World Series banners fly proudly. Those championship flags from 2010, 2012, and 2014 represent a golden era when Oracle Park became the site of some of the most dramatic postseason moments in baseball history. The right field arcade creates a promenade where fans can walk along the water while watching the game. It's a uniquely San Francisco experience where baseball meets the bay, allowing fans to feel the ocean breeze while cheering for their Giants. From Willie Mays' final years to Buster Posey's championship leadership, Oracle Park has been home to Giants legends who understood they were playing in one of baseball's most beautiful settings. The stadium doesn't just host games, it creates postcards that capture the magic of baseball by the bay. Number 12 on our countdown is Citi Field in Queens, home to the Mets with a capacity of 41,922 seats. But this ballpark represents something profound, a stadium that carries the weight of New York baseball history while creating new memories in the shadows of Manhattan's towering skyline. When Citi Field opened in 2009, it replaced the beloved but aging Shea Stadium with something that honored the past while embracing the future. The ballpark's design pays tribute to Ebbets Field, the legendary home of the Brooklyn Dodgers, with its brick facade and classic proportions reminding fans of baseball's golden age in New York. The most striking feature is the view beyond center field, where the Manhattan skyline creates a backdrop that no other ballpark can match. As the sun sets behind the skyscrapers, the city lights begin to twinkle, transforming every evening game into a visual spectacle that captures the magic of New York baseball. The ballpark's location in Queens reflects the borough's incredible diversity. Fans arrive speaking dozens of languages, representing the melting pot that makes New York baseball special. The 7 train rumbles overhead, carrying fans from Manhattan and connecting Citi Field to the heartbeat of the city. The signature moment came in 2015 when the Mets made their unexpected run to the World Series. Citi Field transformed into a cauldron of orange and blue as fans who had endured years of disappointment suddenly found themselves believing again. The playoff atmosphere was electric, with 41,000 fans creating noise that echoed across Queens. The home run apple in center field has become Citi Field's most beloved tradition. Rising from behind the outfield wall after every Mets home run, the giant apple is a throwback to Shea Stadium's original apple, connecting past and present in a moment of pure baseball joy. It's quirky, it's New York, and it perfectly captures the Mets' unique personality. The ballpark's design includes the Shea Bridge beyond right field, a tribute to the old stadium that honored both the Mets' history and the site's connection to the 1964 World's Fair. The bridge serves as a reminder that Citi Field sits on hallowed ground where baseball legends like Tom Seaver and Mike Piazza created unforgettable memories. The food at Citi Field reflects New York's incredible culinary diversity, from classic ballpark hot dogs to pastrami sandwiches that rival the city's best delis. The Shake Shack beyond center field has become a destination in itself, proving that even fast food can be elevated to an art form in New York. The seventh inning stretch includes Meet the Mets, the team's infectious fight song that gets 41,000 fans singing along. In a city that never lacks for entertainment options, this simple ritual creates a moment of unity that reminds everyone why they chose to spend their evening at the ballpark. From David Wright's emotional farewell to Jacob deGrom's dominant pitching performances, Citi Field has been home to Mets moments that define what it means to be amazing. The ballpark doesn't just host games, it creates the stage where New York baseball dreams come alive. In a city of 8 million stories, Citi Field proves that sometimes the best chapters are still being written. Number 11 on our countdown is Great American Ballpark in Cincinnati, home to the Reds with a capacity of 42,319 seats. But this ballpark represents something sacred in baseball, a stadium that honors the birthplace of professional baseball while creating one of the most spectacular riverfront experiences in all of sports. When Great American Ballpark opened in 2003, it replaced the concrete bowl of Riverfront Stadium with something that celebrated Cincinnati's rich baseball heritage. The ballpark sits along the Ohio River, with the historic rolling suspension bridge creating a backdrop that connects baseball's past to its present. This is where professional baseball began in 1869, and every game feels like a tribute to that legacy. The most breathtaking feature is the view beyond the outfield walls, where the Ohio River flows lazily past while riverboats paddle by during games. The Cincinnati skyline rises behind home plate, creating a panoramic vista that changes with every season. No other ballpark offers quite this combination of natural beauty and urban sophistication. The ballpark's design incorporates the famous gap, a break in the stands beyond center field that frames the river and allows the ballpark to breathe. This architectural choice creates sight lines that make every seat feel connected to both the game and the city beyond. The gap has become as iconic as any feature in baseball, proving that sometimes what you don't build is as important as what you do. The signature moment came during the 2012 playoff run when the Reds finally returned to October baseball after years of rebuilding. Great American Ballpark erupted with a passion that had been dormant for decades, as fans who remembered the Big Red Machine finally had new heroes to celebrate. The playoff atmosphere was electric, with 42,000 fans creating noise that echoed across the Ohio River. The Reds Hall of Fame and Museum, located right inside the ballpark, creates a unique connection to Cincinnati's baseball history. Fans can walk through exhibits honoring Johnny Bench, Pete Rose, and the legendary Big Red Machine while still hearing the crack of the bat from the field above. It's a pilgrimage site for baseball fans that makes every visit feel like a history lesson. The ballpark's food reflects Cincinnati's unique culinary identity, from skyline chili that divides the baseball world to LaRossa's pizza that locals swear by. The Montgomery Inn barbecue adds smoky aromas that mingle with the river breeze, creating a sensory experience that's purely Cincinnati. The seventh-inning stretch includes "Take Me Out to the Ball Game" followed by the Reds' fight song, creating a sing-along that unites generations of fans who've watched baseball along the Ohio River. The tradition connects today's fans to the ghosts of Wrigley Field and the legends who made Cincinnati baseball special. The steamboat smokestacks beyond the center field wall shoot flames and fireworks after every Reds home run, creating a celebration that's visible from across the river. It's a spectacle that perfectly captures Cincinnati's riverboat heritage while adding modern excitement to America's oldest professional sport. From Joey Votto's patient at-bats to the emerging young stars carrying on Cincinnati's baseball tradition, Great American Ballpark has become home to a new generation of Reds legends. The ballpark doesn't just host games, it continues the story that began in 1869. In the city where professional baseball was born, Great American Ballpark proves that sometimes coming home means honoring where it all began. Number 10 on our countdown is Citizens Bank Park in Philadelphia, home to the Phillies with a capacity of 43,647 seats. But this ballpark represents something fierce, a stadium that captures the passionate, unforgiving spirit of Philadelphia sports while creating one of the most intimidating environments in all of baseball. When Citizens Bank Park opened in 2004, it replaced the multi-purpose Veterans Stadium with something that understood Philadelphia's unique sports culture. This isn't just a ballpark, it's a battleground where Phillies fans bring an intensity that can lift their team to championship heights or crush visiting players' dreams with ruthless efficiency. The most distinctive feature is the view beyond the outfield walls, where the Philadelphia skyline creates a backdrop that perfectly frames the city's blue-collar identity. The Liberty Bell replica in center field and the massive Phillies logo remind everyone that this is Philadelphia's house, where opposing teams better come ready to fight. The ballpark's design reflects the city's no-nonsense attitude, with red brick and steel construction that feels both classic and intimidating. The dimensions favor pitchers just enough to reward smart baseball while still allowing for the dramatic home runs that Phillies fans crave. Every architectural choice reinforces that this is a serious baseball stadium for serious baseball fans. The signature moment came during the 2008 World Series run when Citizens Bank Park became the epicenter of Philadelphia sports euphoria. Game 5 against Tampa Bay, suspended by rain and completed 2 days later, turned the ballpark into a pressure cooker of emotion. When Bradledge struck out Eric Hintz to clinch the championship, 43,000 fans erupted in celebration that had been 28 years in the making. The Fanatics' antics from the top of the dugout have become Citizens Bank Park legend. The beloved green mascot doesn't just entertain, he torments opposing players with a creativity that perfectly captures Philadelphia's love of psychological warfare. His hot dog cannon and dance moves are as much a part of the ballpark experience as cheesesteaks and soft pretzels. The ballpark's food reflects Philadelphia's incredible culinary reputation, from authentic cheesesteaks that rival the city's best to hoagies that satisfy the most demanding South Philly palates. The Chickies and Pete's crab fries have become a pilgrimage food that fans plan their entire ballpark experience around. The seventh-inning stretch at Citizens Bank Park is unlike anywhere else in baseball. Phillies fans don't just sing "Take Me Out to the Ball Game," they roar it with an intensity that can be heard blocks away. The collective voice of 43,000 passionate fans creates an atmosphere that visiting players either embrace or fear. The ballpark's connection to the South Philadelphia sports complex means fans can walk between Citizens Bank Park, Lincoln Financial Field, and the Wells Fargo Center, creating a sports campus that celebrates Philadelphia's athletic identity. The shared parking lots become tailgating communities where Eagles, Phillies, Flyers, and Sixers fans unite in their love of Philadelphia sports. From Ryan Howard's towering home runs to Bryce Harper's clutch performances, Citizens Bank Park has been home to moments that define what it means to play baseball in Philadelphia. The ballpark doesn't just host games, it tests the character of everyone who steps between the lines. In a city that demands authenticity and rewards toughness, Citizens Bank Park proves that sometimes the best ballparks are the ones that never let you forget where you are. Number 9 on our countdown is Busch Stadium in St. Louis, home to the Cardinals with a capacity of 45,494 seats. But this ballpark represents something sacred in baseball, a cathedral where the game's purest traditions meet the most knowledgeable fanbase in America, creating an atmosphere that defines what baseball can be at its finest. When the new Busch Stadium opened in 2006, it replaced the concrete bowl of the previous stadium with something that honored St. Louis's incredible baseball heritage. Built in the shadow of the iconic Gateway Arch, this ballpark creates a skyline view that's uniquely American, where westward expansion meets America's pastime in perfect harmony. The most breathtaking feature is the view of the Gateway Arch beyond center field, rising 630 feet into the Missouri sky and reminding everyone that St. Louis has always been the gateway to something greater. As the sun sets behind the arch, the monument becomes silhouetted against the evening sky, creating a backdrop that no other ballpark can match. The ballpark's design reflects Cardinal Way, the organization's commitment to playing baseball the right way. The red brick exterior and classic proportions create an atmosphere that feels both timeless and modern, where tradition isn't just honored but lived every single day. This is where baseball fundamentals are still celebrated and where doing things right matters more than doing things flashy. The signature moment came during the 2011 World Series when Busch Stadium became the site of one of baseball's greatest comebacks. Game 6 against Texas will forever be remembered for David Freese's walk-off home run in the 11th inning, a moment that turned 45,000 fans into believers and proved that Cardinal magic is real. The celebration that followed seemed to shake the very foundations of the stadium. The Cardinals fans are legendary for their baseball knowledge and respectful appreciation of the game. They'll applaud a great defensive play by the visiting team and understand the strategic nuances that casual fans miss. At Busch Stadium, you're not just watching baseball, you're surrounded by people who truly understand what they're seeing. The ballpark's food reflects St. Louis's unique culinary identity, from toasted ravioli that you can't find anywhere else to gooey butter cake that perfectly captures the city's sweet tooth. The local beer selection celebrates St. Louis's brewing heritage, creating a game day experience that's authentically Midwestern. The seventh inning stretch includes not just "Take Me Out to the Ball Game" but often "Here Comes the King" celebrating the Budweiser Clydesdales that call St. Louis home. The tradition connects baseball to the city's industrial heritage while creating moments of unity that span generations of Cardinals fans. The ballpark's connection to Cardinals history runs deeper than architecture. This is where Stan Musial's statue greets fans outside the stadium, where Red Schoendienst and Lou Brock's legacies live on, and where Albert Pujols created some of the most memorable moments in Cardinals history before returning home to finish his career. From Scott Rowland's defensive wizardry to Yadier Molina's leadership behind the plate, Busch Stadium has been home to players who embody what it means to be a Cardinal. The ballpark doesn't just host games, it perpetuates a culture of excellence that has produced 11 World Series championships. In a city where baseball isn't just entertainment but a way of life, Busch Stadium proves that sometimes the best ballparks are the ones that never forget what the game is really about. Stadium in Anaheim, home to the Angels with a capacity of 45,517 seats. But this ballpark represents something magical, a stadium where California dreams meet baseball reality, creating one of the most distinctive and beloved venues in all of Major League Baseball. When Angel Stadium opened in 1966, it was built as a classic baseball-only facility in the heart of Orange County. The ballpark has evolved over decades while maintaining its unique character, with the famous Big A scoreboard and halo becoming as iconic as any landmarks in baseball. This is where the California Angels became the Los Angeles Angels, but the stadium's soul has remained unchanged. The most distinctive feature is the rock waterfall beyond the outfield walls, a spectacular display that erupts after every Angels home run and victory. The artificial mountain and cascading water create a scene that's pure Southern California, where even baseball stadiums can feel like theme park attractions. When the water flows and fireworks explode, Angel Stadium becomes a celebration of both baseball and California excess. The ballpark's location just miles from Disneyland creates a unique atmosphere where family entertainment meets professional sports. The stadium's design embraces this connection, with palm trees swaying beyond the outfield and a scoreboard that lights up the Orange County sky. It's baseball with a distinctly California flavor that makes every game feel like a vacation. The signature moment came during the 2002 World Series run when Angel Stadium became the site of one of baseball's greatest Cinderella stories. The Rally Monkey became a national phenomenon as the Angels defeated Barry Bonds and the Giants in 7 games, bringing their first championship to Southern California. The celebration that followed turned the ballpark into a sea of red that stretched from Anaheim to the Pacific Ocean. The Rally Monkey tradition perfectly captures Angel Stadium's playful spirit. When the team needs a comeback, the monkey appears on the scoreboard, dancing to jump around while 45,000 fans go wild. It's silly, it's effective, and it's uniquely Angels, a tradition that opposing teams have learned to fear and fans have learned to love. The ballpark's food reflects Southern California's incredible diversity, from classic ballpark fare to Mexican specialties that honor the region's heritage. The Anaheim chili peppers and fish tacos create flavors that you simply can't find in ballparks back east, proving that even concession stands can benefit from California innovation. The 7th inning stretch includes Take Me Out to the Ball Game followed by Build Me Up Buttercup, a tradition that turns the entire stadium into a sing-along celebration. In a region known for laid-back attitudes, this moment of collective enthusiasm proves that Angels fans know how to bring the energy when it matters. The ballpark's connection to Angels history runs deep, from the memory of Gene Autry, the cowboy who brought baseball to Orange County, to the tragic loss of Nick Hart, whose jersey hangs in tribute. The stadium has witnessed both triumph and heartbreak, creating an emotional connection that transcends wins and losses. From Nolan Ryan's no-hitters to Mike Trout's incredible performances, Angel Stadium has been home to some of baseball's most spectacular individual achievements. The ballpark doesn't just host games, it provides the stage where legends are born and records are broken. In a region where entertainment options are limitless, Angel Stadium proves that sometimes the best show in town is still 9 innings of baseball played under the California stars. On our countdown is Oriole Park at Camden Yards in Baltimore, home to the Orioles with a capacity of 45,971 seats. But this ballpark represents something revolutionary, the stadium that changed baseball forever by proving that new ballparks could honor the past while creating the future of America's pastime. When Oriole Park opened in 1992, it single-handedly transformed how baseball stadiums were built. This wasn't just another concrete bowl, it was a return to baseball's roots, with red brick, steel trusses, and asymmetrical dimensions that reminded fans why they fell in love with the game in the first place. Camden Yards became the blueprint that every ballpark since has tried to follow. The most iconic feature is the B&O Warehouse beyond right field, a 1,016-foot-long brick building that serves as the ballpark's spectacular backdrop. Built in 1905, the warehouse creates a sense of history and permanence that makes every game feel connected to Baltimore's industrial heritage. No ball has ever reached the warehouse in flight, making it both a target and a symbol of the impossible. The ballpark's location in downtown Baltimore transformed the Inner Harbor into a destination that combines baseball with urban renewal. Fans can walk from the harbor to the ballpark, passing through neighborhoods that came alive because of Camden Yards. The stadium proved that baseball could be an engine of economic development while honoring a city's character. The signature moment came during the 1993 All-Star Game when Camden Yards hosted baseball's biggest stars just 1 year after opening. The national television audience saw what Baltimore fans already knew: this was how baseball stadiums should be built. The game showcased both the ballpark's beauty and its perfect dimensions, cementing Camden Yards' reputation as baseball's new standard. The Utah Street Promenade beyond right field creates a unique game day experience where fans can grab a Boog's barbecue sandwich while watching batting practice. The bronze plaques marking where home runs have landed on Utah Street create a museum of power hitting that grows with every season. It's baseball history being written in real time. The ballpark's design includes subtle nods to Orioles history, from the retired numbers on the facade to the statue of Babe Ruth outside the stadium. The Bambino was born just blocks away, and his presence reminds everyone that Baltimore has always been connected to baseball's greatest legends. The seventh-inning stretch at Camden Yards includes "Thank God I'm a Country Boy," a John Denver song that has become synonymous with Orioles baseball. The tradition started accidentally but has become as much a part of the ballpark experience as crab cakes and Old Bay seasoning. The ballpark's food reflects Baltimore's incredible seafood heritage, with crab cake sandwiches that rival the city's best restaurants and Chesapeake Bay favorites that you can't find anywhere else in baseball. The local flavors create a connection between the ballpark and the region that makes every bite taste like home. From Cal Ripken's consecutive game streak to the recent resurgence under new ownership, Camden Yards has been home to moments that define Orioles baseball. The ballpark doesn't just host games, it continues to influence how baseball stadiums are designed and built around the world. The impact of Camden Yards extends far beyond Baltimore. Every retro ballpark since 1992 owes its existence to what the Orioles created on 33rd Street. From Coors Field to PNC Park, Camden Yards proved that baseball's future lay in honoring its past. In a city known for blue-collar toughness and Chesapeake Bay pride, Oriole Park at Camden Yards proves that sometimes the most revolutionary thing you can do is remember where you came from. Number 6 on our countdown is Yankee Stadium in the Bronx, home to the Yankees with a capacity of 47,309 seats. But this ballpark represents something legendary, a cathedral of baseball where more history has been made than anywhere else in sports, creating an atmosphere that defines what it means to wear pinstripes. When the new Yankee Stadium opened in 2009, it replaced the house that Ruth built while maintaining the mystique that made the original stadium sacred. The limestone facade, the short right field porch, and Monument Park all carry forward the traditions that have made the Yankees baseball's most successful franchise. This isn't just a ballpark, it's where legends are born and dynasties are built. The most iconic feature is Monument Park beyond center field, where plaques and monuments honor Yankees legends from Babe Ruth to Lou Gehrig to Derek Jeter. Walking through Monument Park feels like visiting baseball's Mount Rushmore, where every plaque tells a story of excellence that spans over a century. No other ballpark can claim such a concentration of baseball immortality. The ballpark's design deliberately evokes the original stadium's grandeur, with the Great Hall entrance creating a sense of occasion that begins the moment fans arrive. The cathedral windows and soaring ceilings remind everyone that they're entering hallowed ground where 27 World Series championships have been celebrated. The signature moment came during Derek Jeter's final home game in 2014, when the captain delivered a walk-off single in his last at-bat at Yankee Stadium. The 47,000 fans who witnessed that moment saw the perfect ending to a perfect career, as Jeter jogged off the field one final time to a standing ovation that seemed to last forever. The short right field porch, just 314 feet down the line, has become both blessing and curse for Yankees hitters. What would be routine fly balls elsewhere become home runs in the Bronx, while visiting pitchers learn to fear the dimensions that have favored Yankees sluggers for generations. The ballpark itself becomes a player in every game. The food at Yankee Stadium reflects both New York's incredible diversity and the franchise's premium brand. From traditional hot dogs to high-end steakhouse fare, the concessions match the stadium's upscale atmosphere while maintaining the ballpark traditions that connect generations of fans. The seventh-inning stretch includes "Take Me Out to the Ball Game" followed by "New York, New York," creating a sing-along that celebrates both baseball and the city that never sleeps. When the Yankees win, Frank Sinatra's version plays. When they lose, Liza Minnelli's rendition reminds fans there's always tomorrow. The ballpark's connection to Yankees history runs deeper than nostalgia. This is where Babe Ruth's called shot lives in legend, where Lou Gehrig delivered his farewell speech, and where Don Larson threw his perfect game in the World Series. Every game carries the weight of that history. From Aaron Judge's record-breaking home runs to Jarrett Cole's dominant performances, the new Yankee Stadium has already begun creating its own collection of legendary moments. The ballpark doesn't just host games, it continues the story of baseball's most storied franchise. The pinstripe tradition extends beyond the players to the fans, who understand they're part of something bigger than any individual season. Yankees fans don't just root for a team, they carry forward a legacy of excellence that demands nothing less than championships. In a city where everything is bigger and louder, Yankee Stadium proves that some traditions are so powerful they transcend time, creating new legends while honoring the ghosts of the past. On our countdown is T-Mobile Park in Seattle, home to the Mariners with a capacity of 47,943 seats. But this ballpark represents something spectacular, a stadium where the Pacific Northwest's natural beauty meets baseball perfection, creating one of the most stunning and unique venues in all of Major League Baseball. When T-Mobile Park opened in 1999 as Safeco Field, it transformed Seattle's baseball experience with a retractable roof that protects fans from the notorious Pacific Northwest rain while preserving the open-air feeling that makes baseball special. The engineering marvel takes just 20 minutes to close, ensuring that Seattle's unpredictable weather never cancels another game. The most breathtaking feature is the view beyond the outfield walls, where the Olympic Mountains create a backdrop that changes with every season and time of day. Mount Rainier rises majestically in the distance while Elliott Bay sparkles in the foreground, creating panoramic vistas that make every game feel like a postcard from the Pacific Northwest. The ballpark's design embraces Seattle's maritime heritage, with the center field wall featuring a compass rose and nautical elements throughout the concourse. The brick and steel architecture feels both industrial and elegant, reflecting a city that built its identity on both natural beauty and technological innovation. The signature moment came during the 2001 season when T-Mobile Park became the site of one of baseball's greatest individual performances. Ichiro Suzuki's rookie season captivated Seattle as he collected 242 hits while bringing a style of play that had never been seen in Major League Baseball. The stadium erupted for every infield single and spectacular defensive play. The ballpark's most beloved feature is the pen, the area beyond the right field wall where fans can watch games for just $5 while enjoying food trucks and craft beer. It's democracy in action, proving that great baseball experiences don't have to cost a fortune. The atmosphere in the pen rivals any bleacher section in baseball. The food at T-Mobile Park reflects Seattle's incredible culinary scene, from fresh salmon that's caught locally to craft beer from breweries that define the Pacific Northwest. The garlic fries and Ivar's clam chowder create flavors that you simply can't find anywhere else in baseball, making every bite taste like Seattle. The seventh inning stretch includes Take Me Out to the Ball Game followed by Louie Louie, the garage rock anthem that perfectly captures Seattle's musical heritage. In a city that gave birth to grunge, this tradition connects baseball to the sounds that made Seattle famous around the world. Edgar Martinez's presence is felt throughout the ballpark, from his retired number to the street named in his honor. The greatest designated hitter in baseball history embodies what it means to be a Mariner, showing that excellence can flourish even without World Series rings. The ballpark's connection to Seattle's tech industry creates a unique atmosphere where tradition meets innovation. Fans arrive from Amazon, Microsoft, and Boeing, bringing an energy that reflects the city's forward-thinking spirit while maintaining respect for baseball's timeless appeal. From Felix Hernandez's perfect game to the recent playoff runs that ended the longest drought in major sports, T-Mobile Park has been home to moments that define what it means to be a Mariners fan. The ballpark doesn't just host games, it provides hope that someday all that loyalty will be rewarded. In a city surrounded by water and mountains, T-Mobile Park proves that sometimes the most beautiful ballparks are the ones that never let you forget where you are. Number 4 on our countdown is Chase Field in Phoenix, home to the Diamondbacks with a capacity of 48,686 seats. But this ballpark represents something revolutionary, a stadium that conquered the brutal Arizona desert heat while creating one of baseball's most unique and innovative environments. When Chase Field opened in 1998 as Bank One Ballpark, it became the first ballpark designed specifically for extreme heat, featuring a retractable roof and air conditioning that made summer baseball possible in a city where temperatures regularly exceed 115 degrees. This wasn't just engineering, it was survival, proving that baseball could thrive anywhere with the right technology. The most distinctive feature is the swimming pool beyond right field, where fans can literally take a dip while watching Major League Baseball. The Bob Pool has become baseball's most famous water feature, hosting pool parties during games and creating moments that you simply can't experience anywhere else in sports. It's pure Arizona excess that perfectly captures the desert's recreational spirit. The ballpark's retractable roof is a marvel of engineering that opens and closes in just 4.5 minutes, creating different experiences throughout the season. During the brutal summer months, the roof stays closed with air conditioning pumping, while spring and fall games open to reveal the stunning Arizona sky and desert mountains beyond. The signature moment came during the 2001 World Series when Chase Field became the unlikely site of one of baseball's greatest upsets. The expansion Diamondbacks, just 4 years old, defeated the mighty Yankees in 7 games, with Curt Schilling and Randy Johnson dominating on the mound. The championship celebration turned the desert into a baseball oasis. The ballpark's design incorporates subtle nods to Arizona's natural beauty, from the dirt warning track that uses actual infield dirt to the color scheme that reflects the desert landscape. The architecture embraces both the harshness and beauty of the Sonoran Desert, creating a venue that feels authentically southwestern. The food at Chase Field reflects Arizona's unique culinary identity, from Sonoran hot dogs wrapped in bacon to churros that celebrate the state's Mexican heritage. The local craft beer selection showcases breweries that have learned to thrive in the desert heat, creating flavors that perfectly complement the Arizona experience. The 7th inning stretch includes Take Me Out to the Ball Game followed by Sweet Caroline, creating a sing-along that unites fans from across the Southwest. The tradition brings East Coast energy to the desert, proving that baseball traditions can take root anywhere. The D-backs mascot, the Diamondbacks Baxter, perfectly captures the ballpark's playful spirit with antics that include rappelling from the roof and racing around the warning track. In a ballpark that features a swimming pool, even the mascot embraces the unconventional approach that makes Chase Field special. The ballpark's connection to Arizona's spring training heritage runs deep, as many fans experience their first taste of Major League Baseball during Cactus League games before becoming lifelong Diamondbacks supporters. The stadium serves as a bridge between baseball's traditional roots and its expansion into new markets. From Randy Johnson's dominant performances to Paul Goldschmidt's MVP seasons, Chase Field has been home to players who understood they were pioneering baseball in the desert. The ballpark doesn't just host games, it proves that America's pastime can adapt and thrive in any environment. In a state where baseball was once considered impossible due to the heat, Chase Field proves that innovation and determination can overcome any obstacle, creating new traditions while respecting the game's timeless appeal. Number 3 on our countdown is Rogers Centre in Toronto, home to the Blue Jays with a capacity of 49,282 seats. But this ballpark represents something groundbreaking, the stadium that revolutionized baseball architecture while bringing Major League Baseball to an entire nation, creating moments that united all of Canada around America's pastime. When Rogers Centre opened in 1989 as Sky Dome, it was the world's first stadium with a fully retractable roof, a technological marvel that seemed like science fiction. The 4-panel roof opens in just 20 minutes, transforming from an enclosed dome to an open-air ballpark, proving that Canadian engineering could conquer both winter weather and baseball's traditional limitations. The most spectacular feature is watching the roof open on a perfect summer day, as Toronto's skyline is gradually revealed beyond center field. The CN Tower dominates the view, creating a backdrop that's uniquely Canadian while the lake breeze flows through the stadium. No other ballpark can claim such a dramatic transformation from indoor arena to outdoor cathedral. The ballpark's location in the heart of downtown Toronto creates an urban baseball experience unlike anywhere else in the majors. Fans arrive by subway, walking through the underground path system before emerging into the stadium. The Rogers Centre sits at the intersection of sports, entertainment, and commerce, making every game feel like a citywide celebration. The signature moments came during the back-to-back World Series championships in 1992 and 1993, when Rogers Centre became the epicenter of Canadian baseball euphoria. Joe Carter's walk-off home run in Game 6 of the 1993 World Series remains one of baseball's most iconic moments, as 52,000 fans erupted in celebration that echoed across the entire country. The ballpark's unique design includes the hotel beyond right field, where guests can watch games from their rooms while enjoying room service. It's a luxury that exists nowhere else in baseball, where fans can literally sleep above the action and wake up on the field level. The concept perfectly captures Toronto's cosmopolitan sophistication. The food at Rogers Centre reflects Toronto's incredible multicultural identity, from Powden that celebrates Canadian comfort food to diverse options that honor the city's immigrant communities. The craft beer selection showcases Ontario breweries, creating flavors that are authentically Canadian while honoring baseball's traditional concession stand culture. The 7th inning stretch includes Take Me Out to the Ball Game followed by OK Blue Jays, the team's infectious fight song that gets 49,000 fans singing along in both English and French. The tradition celebrates Canada's bilingual heritage while creating unity around baseball that transcends language barriers. The ballpark's artificial turf has been both blessing and curse, creating faster games and unique bounces that visiting teams struggle to adjust to. The Blue Jays have learned to use their home field advantage, turning the synthetic surface into a strategic weapon that makes Rogers Centre one of the tougher places to play. From Fernandez's defensive wizardry to Jose Bautista's legendary playoff home run and bat flip, Rogers Center has been home to moments that define what it means to be a Blue Jay. The ballpark doesn't just host games, it serves as Canada's window into Major League Baseball. The recent renovations have modernized the stadium while maintaining its retractable roof innovation, proving that even revolutionary ballparks can evolve with the times. The updates honor the past while preparing for the future of baseball in Canada. In a country where hockey dominates the sporting landscape, Rogers Center proves that baseball can capture the hearts of an entire nation when the moments are big enough and the stage is grand enough. On our countdown is Coors Field in Denver, home to the Rockies with a capacity of 50,398 seats. But this ballpark represents something extraordinary, a stadium that sits literally above the rest of baseball, where the thin mountain air creates a unique environment that has redefined what's possible in America's pastime. When Coors Field opened in 1995, it introduced baseball to the mile-high city with a ballpark that embraces Colorado's stunning natural beauty. At 5,280 feet above sea level, exactly 1 mile high, this is the highest ballpark in Major League Baseball, where physics work differently and baseballs carry further than anywhere else on Earth. The most breathtaking feature is the view beyond the outfield walls, where the Rocky Mountains create a backdrop that changes with every season. Snow-capped peaks rise majestically in the distance while the Denver skyline frames the infield, creating panoramic vistas that make every game feel like a postcard from the American West. The ballpark's design incorporates Colorado's geological heritage, with the distinctive green steel and red brick exterior reflecting the state's mining history. The 20-foot-high outfield walls were built to contain the mile-high fence, while the expansive foul territory creates one of baseball's most challenging environments for both hitters and pitchers. The signature moment came during the 2007 playoff run when Coors Field became the site of one of baseball's most dramatic collapses and resurrections. The Rockies won 21 of their final 22 games, turning the ballpark into a launching pad for one of the most improbable postseason runs in baseball history. The Rocktober celebration united the entire state of Colorado around their surprising team. The purple row in the upper deck marks the exact mile-high elevation, creating a unique landmark that exists nowhere else in baseball. Fans scramble to sit in row 20 of the upper deck, where a purple stripe reminds everyone they're watching baseball at altitude that would challenge most athletes just to breathe normally. The ballpark's humidor was installed to store baseballs in controlled humidity, attempting to neutralize some of the altitude's effects on a fence. It's a technological solution to a natural phenomenon, proving that even baseball's most traditional elements must adapt to Colorado's unique environment. The food at Coors Field celebrates Colorado's craft beer revolution and Western heritage, from Rocky Mountain oysters that challenge adventurous fans to craft beer selections that showcase the state's brewing excellence. The Helton Burger honors the greatest Rocky of all time, while the green chili adds local flavor that you can't find anywhere else in baseball. stretch includes Take Me Out to the Ball Game followed by Rocky Mountain High, John Denver's anthem that perfectly captures Colorado's spirit. The tradition connects baseball to the state's natural beauty while creating moments of unity that span the entire Rocky Mountain region. Todd Helton's 17-year career at Coors Field created a connection between player and ballpark that defined what it means to be a Rocky. His patient approach and consistent excellence proved that great players could thrive at altitude while adapting their games to the unique conditions. From Larry Walker's MVP season to Nolan Arenado's defensive wizardry, Coors Field has been home to players who understood they were competing in baseball's most challenging environment. The ballpark doesn't just host games, it tests the limits of what's possible in the sport. In a state where outdoor recreation defines the lifestyle, Coors Field proves that baseball can reach new heights when it embraces the natural world around it, creating an experience that's as much about Colorado as it is about the game itself. Number 1 on our countdown is Dodger Stadium in Los Angeles, home to the Dodgers with a capacity of 56,000 seats. But this ballpark represents something timeless, a mid-century masterpiece that has become the gold standard for baseball stadiums, where Hollywood glamour meets America's pastime in perfect harmony. When Dodger Stadium opened in 1962, it was revolutionary in its simplicity and elegance. Built into the Chavez Ravine Hills, this ballpark created a template for modern stadium design with its clean lines, perfect sight lines, and integration with the natural landscape. Nearly 65 years later, it remains the most beautiful ballpark in baseball, proving that great design never goes out of style. The most iconic feature is the view beyond the outfield pavilions, where palm trees sway against the backdrop of downtown Los Angeles and the San Gabriel Mountains. As the sun sets behind the third base line, the stadium transforms into a golden amphitheater where every game feels like a movie premiere. No other ballpark captures the essence of its city quite like Dodger Stadium captures Los Angeles. The ballpark's design reflects the optimism of 1960s California, with pastel color schemes and mid-century modern architecture that feels both retro and futuristic. The wavy roof lines and terraced parking areas carved into the hillside create a venue that seems to grow organically from the landscape, making it as much a part of Los Angeles as the Hollywood sign. The signature moments are countless, from Sandy Koufax's perfect game in 1965 to Kirk Gibson's impossible home run in the 1988 World Series. When Gibson limped to the plate and launched Dennis Eckersley's slider into the right field pavilion, Vin Scully's call became the soundtrack to Los Angeles sports history, proving that Dodger Stadium is where legends are born. The Dodger Dog has become as much a part of the Los Angeles experience as any Hollywood landmark. The foot-long hot dog grilled to perfection represents the ballpark's commitment to simple excellence, proving that sometimes the best traditions are the ones that never change. The ballpark's connection to Vin Scully runs deeper than any broadcaster-stadium relationship in sports history. For 67 years, his voice was the soundtrack to Dodger Stadium, painting pictures with words that made radio listeners feel like they had the best seats in the house. The press box now bears his name, ensuring his legacy will forever be part of the Ballparks story. The seventh-inning stretch at Dodger Stadium includes "Take Me Out to the Ball Game" followed by "I Love L.A." Randy Newman's anthem that perfectly captures the city's laid-back confidence. The tradition celebrates both baseball and Los Angeles, creating moments of unity in a city known for its sprawling diversity. From Fernando Valenzuela's screwball magic to Clayton Kershaw's curveball artistry, Dodger Stadium has been home to pitchers who understood they were performing on baseball's most beautiful stage. The ballpark doesn't just host games, it elevates them to art. The recent renovations have modernized amenities while preserving the mid-century modern aesthetic that makes Dodger Stadium unique. Every upgrade honors Walter O'Malley's original vision while preparing the ballpark for its next 60 years. In a city built on dreams and reinvention, Dodger Stadium proves that some things are perfect from the beginning, creating a timeless venue where every sunset reminds you why baseball and Los Angeles were meant for each other.